Hello everyone, I'm Amit. I work as a computational designer. I enjoy using 3D geometry and different algorithmic processes to come up with spatial and structural designs. And today I'd like to share a project that I've been working about where I'm trying to use audio to come up with 3D virtual environments. Before getting into that, let me quickly share how the project came around to being. So I was visiting the Lotus Temple in New Delhi, which is this beautiful structure right in the center of the city. It has a very simple symmetrical form to it. So it's a nine-sided structural symmetry, and you can see it's a very thin separation that happens between the inside and the outside of the enclosure. Uh, this image actually helps you get a better understanding, and you can see like there are just these three petal sort of shape structure that's mirrored around its axis, which creates this beautiful cocoon of a space. And a beautiful thing that was happening while we were there was the daily prayers were going on, which was a really amazing experience for me and my friend who were there at the same time, because the temple is built by the Baha'i faith, where they don't subscribe to a single religion. They believe in the unity of all religion. So everyone's welcome to come in and chant prayers of their own discourse in their common shared space. And while we were there, we happened to hear 3 or 4 different prayers coming from different cultures, different periods of time. But it just sounded really wonderful over there in that space, in that cocoon of an acoustic enclosure. So, as an architect, I've been experienced with creating structures for acoustical performances. So it's a big discourse that's practiced within, where a lot of calculations goes back and forth between regulating the source of the sound, the kind of reflectivity that happens within the space, or the absorption, and it's a very detailed undertaking, I'd say. And so every time it's like the structure is being designed to perform in a certain way based on the sound, and I wanted to invert that relationship by exploring if we can use actually a sound to create some sort of structure or a spatial experience. With that intent in my mind, I went into my little adventure. So the first thing that was trying to understand what sound is. In school, how it was introduced to us was sound is like waves of compressions and rarefactions of a medium, which most commonly is sound, is air, sorry. uh, so but that actually I never really fully quite grasped what it means. And while going through this project, I came through this video which is up on YouTube. It's a nice experiment which put things in a little bit more perspective for me. Quickly describing what's actually happening in the experiment. So it's a simple plate that's subjected to a tone generator. A tone generator is a device that creates vibrations of certain frequencies and imparts that on the plate. So that was the frequency that you saw. And then the plate, on top of the plate, she sprays around small particles of sand, which are free to move around in their space. And when the device switches on, when the tone starts actually being imparted on the plate, you see the particles start collecting together in these certain interesting patterns. And this doesn't involve anything else besides the particle. Like there's no magnetism, there's no other external force. It's just happening due to the nature of the plate, the vibrations that are prevalent in the plate, or the free floating sand particles, and due to gravity. So this was a fantastic experiment, and I really liked the shapes and forms that it was creating, and I wanted to explore if I can use this kind of idea to try to actually help visualize sound. The experiment itself is actually a very old one. It was done in the 19th century by Ernst Chladni, and those plates are called Chladni plates. Where similar experiment, he was subjecting the plates to different frequencies, and but that way he was able to collect like a lot of different shapes which was happening due to the effect of the sound onto the plates. and a quick understanding of what exactly causes the sand particles to collect together in such a way. So suppose this line here is the plate, and the particles are just distributed around on here. So as the wave starts affecting the plate, you see this part of the plate starts moving up and down, and because the intensity of the up and down motion is maximum here, they start moving away from it towards these points where it's not quite so shaky, and the particles start like collecting around these points. So the peaks are called the nodes, and the stable points are there called the antinodes. And due to the different effects happening within the plate, they start collecting in these certain patterns due to the interference of the waves within the plate. So with that idea, I went back to my original idea of what I experienced at the temple. So while we were there, we took a sample recording of the prayers that were going on, and I wanted to explore what the sound file actually is, going from audio in its physical experience to the digital encapsulation of such a medium. So I started playing around with it, and the most basic concept that's there in the audio file is it's actually a sampling of the different the amplitudes of the sound in time, and based on how many samples you have, it affects the quality of the sound. And relating that to my experiment, I still wanted to come down to individual frequencies, because that's what we put on the plate to start visualizing it in that manner. But to go from a recorded sound file to actually the frequencies, it's this process called the fast Fourier transform which happens. I won't go too much into detail about it, it's a whole discourse on its own, but the basic idea is any sound can be represented as a group, as a collection of frequencies, and this process helps us extract those individual frequencies from any recorded sample. So any sound which looks like this can actually be composed of these individual frequencies. So using that approach, I started this experiment where, given a sound file, I was extracting the range of frequencies that's stored in the file and trying to visualize it in this virtual environment. So here in this experiment, it's a web app setup, and it's a 3D environment within the virtual canvas, and you can see the particles floating around. They are my sand particles, and when I click that button, it actually starts subjecting the particles to certain frequencies, and you can see them gather around in this way. So the particles here are actually representative of the densities of the sound at different positions, which happens because sometimes it's too difficult to visualize audio in its entirety, because it's either like numbers are too big or too small, and I had to do a meaningful translation of that into something that we could experience in a spatial realm. So the previous example was a simple sine, a single frequency being imparted, and as I started experimenting more and more, here is an example with two different frequencies which are being emitted from the same source, and it looks similar to that, but what happens is both the frequencies start interfering with each other in its distribution, and you can see the pattern created is slightly different, which is actually a result of the interference that happens between these two frequencies. In the third one, what I'm doing is it's using three different frequencies, and I've distributed them at three different locations in space. So the way they interfere with each other is affected by its positioning in space as well. And we can start seeing how these patterns, they're kind of reminiscent of what we saw with the Chladni plates. And as I moved along, I started getting more experimental with it, and here I'm using a sound sample which is spanning through a range of frequencies and subjecting the same environment to the lows, mids and highs within that range. So you can see how the patterns kind of merge into each other and move out of each other. That's an interesting observation. And here I'm actually not using a sample like a sine wave or a computationally generated audio, but actually using the recording from the temple to visualize it in the browser. And I'm using color just to add a little bit more visual appeal. So a little bit of the detail is actually being lost here since I recorded a video out of it, but it works as a web app, and if you just visit a URL you would be able to see a lot more detail within the patterns that are flowing into each other and coming out of the whole experience. What I demonstrated right now was actually like towards the end of what I've been working on, and I was doing initially more little translations of the audio into a spatial experience, where I was trying to interpret it in different ways and make the space and the structure react in different ways. So if someone was to create something, well, the application was entirely done using the Web Audio API, which is processing the audio, and I'm using the Three.js library to create and render the geometry along with some of the interactivity and the effects that you saw, which makes it run well as a web app. So anyone could actually just visit a URL and see a collection of visualizations done in this way. The creating the visualization, it looks something like this, where here I'm setting up my the different geometrical elements that I'm using, and this is the update method where I receive an object called the frequency object, which contains the past audio data, and you can make your geometry react to that in any different way. So it's being actually run as a web app, and everyone's welcome to visit and check out the application. And you can even create these small samples of sound visualizations and the associated sound, and share it along, and everything just being hosted on the web makes it really easy to access and share. That's an example if someone were to run this in their browser, what this looks like. So when you're playing the actual sample file, you get a nice 3D world that you can walk into. So if you're having a VR headset, it's like you can actually walk into the space, and I've tried that a few times. It's like a really fun experience. And that forms my talk. So everyone's welcome to visit the website, check out. Please leave comments or any feedback if you have, and thank you for listening to my talk.